Hello everyone and Happy New Year! I'm aware that it is the 25th of this month as I film this, but I haven't made a video this year, so Happy New Year. I'll be honest, not much has changed since you last saw me on Christmas Eve. Theatres are still closed, the UK is still in lockdown. I have not left my local area since the last day of Les Mis. I've been nowhere. I have 3 things lined up for this month, which is very odd considering usually in normal pre-COVID life, I would be like, I'm busy every day this month, but I've got 3 days off. And I'd be like looking forward to those 3 days off. And now I'm looking forward to those 3 days when I'm actually leaving the house and doing something. One is a brand deal, one is an audiobook, and one is a fitting for Cinderella, which I am so excited about. But my life at the moment consists of reading and walking and walking and reading and reading and walking, and did I mention walking and reading? I have read 5 books this month. My aim for 2021 is to read a lot more than I did in 2020, which isn't hard considering I only read 11 books in 2020. So reading 5 books in January bodes well for the rest of the year. That is a good head start to have. But I read The Flip Side by James Bailey, We Just Clicked by Annabelle, Mixtape by Jane Sanderson, We Were Liars by E. Lockhart, and Wilder Girls by Rory Power. And Rory Power has to be the best author name, just name in general, ever. Rory Power. Genuinely gutted that that is not my name. I am using a website called Storygraph to track my reading, and I like Storygraph because it's less about reviewing books and giving your opinion on the book, but more about sort of the statistics of your own reading progress. You can put in a reading challenge, and each time you complete a book, it'll tell me by how many books I'm ahead on my challenge or behind on my challenge. At the moment, I am 3 books ahead, thrilled. But every book also has its own statistics, like it's a fast-paced book, it's an emotional book, it's a romantic book, it's an action-filled book. So every time you say that you have read that book, it then contributes to your statistics and what you enjoy reading. It's really interesting, and obviously the more you read, the more you build up those statistics, and so it gives you a much more detailed story graph. I just think it's really clever, and it feels like an incentive to read, because the more I read, the better my story graph is gonna look. But I have been thinking a lot recently about the energy that I want to carry into 2021. I know it may seem foolish, but I am expecting to be busier this year than I was last year. It may only be marginally, but doesn't matter. As long as I'm busier, that's fine. I also don't think I will ever again moan about being too busy. I would give anything right now to feel rushed off my feet. But with that being said, the pandemic has also taught me how important it is to strike a balance between work time and pleasure time. My life before, pre-COVID, was very much split into 3. Theatre, writing, YouTube. And if I wasn't doing one, I was doing one of the others. There was very little time in my life that I allocated myself to just be myself, just to be a human being and a person instead of being an author or a YouTuber or an actress. I always had to be one of those 3, otherwise it wasn't worth it. If I wasn't being productive, if there wasn't an end goal or an end result that I could show someone, then it wasn't worth the time it took to do it. I want to say I've learnt my lesson. I feel like I've learnt my lesson. We'll see when I suddenly become busy again if I slip back into old habits. But the energy I want to take into 2021 is that time to myself is equally as important as the time I spend working. Another energy I want to take into this year is doing what I think is right without having to consult the internet first, or without having to consult people whose opinions shouldn't matter first. The internet has created this really, really weird environment in which not only do we comment on every aspect of every person that we come across in the online arena, but we also expect every aspect of our own lives to be commented on, and we take those comments on board as if they are completely irrefutably correct. That's weird. That's weird. When the internet did not exist, the people that you went to for opinions were family and friends, your mum, your best mate. You wouldn't just walk up to some stranger on Oxford Street and be like, do you like my dress, or do you think I should wear this one? Or how do you think I handled this specific situation that you don't actually know the ins and outs of, but what do you think anyway? It wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen. You would instantly, you wouldn't even think about going to anyone other than the people who know you best. So it's really strange when you think about it. Not only do we turn to the internet for advice now, but we also just accept it if someone comes up to us with unsolicited advice and opinions, and we listen. We go, oh, okay, well that random person on the internet thought that I handled that situation really badly, even though I felt like I was doing everything right, everything that I could have done correctly in that situation, but that one person said that I didn't, so I'm now a bad person. It's weird. It's weird. It's a really weird situation that we not only put ourselves in, but also wholeheartedly accept. Most of us. I can't speak for everyone, but I am definitely one of those people. So I cannot control the actions of everyone around me, so if someone wants to come up to me and give me unsolicited advice on the internet, they're gonna do it whether I want them to or not, but I am in control of whether I take it on board, whether I reply to it, whether I acknowledge it at all. So the energy that I want to take into 2021 is from a saying that I love but never apply for some reason. Never take criticism from people you would never go to for advice. If I know that I would never directly go to @IHeartKebabs3479 on Twitter to ask for advice on a personal situation, then I definitely shouldn't listen to criticism that they dole out of their own free will when it suddenly pops up on my timeline. It is weird that we have access to deconstruct a person and their personality and their personal lives and their family and their work lives until the point that they are no longer a human being in our minds. It's weird. It's weird. And so in 2021, I need to acknowledge the fact that that is weird and not take it too seriously or too personally. Basically, I need to trust myself more. If I think that what I'm doing is well-intentioned and good and right for me and my life and my situation, then I'm gonna do it, regardless of what IHeartKebabs3479 says. I'm really hoping that it won't be long now until Cinderella is up and running, because I am so desperate just to get back to work and be in a rehearsal room and be singing with people with gorgeous voices, and I am just missing theatre so desperately. Whilst working on Les Mis is amazing, and Les Mis will always have my heart, the thought of working on something new that has never been seen before is hugely exciting to me, and I am just desperate to get started, because by the time we get started, I will have known about playing Cinderella for 2 years. 2 years. It will be the longest I have ever known, by a million miles, that I've had a part before playing that part. In the meantime, every Sunday I'm writing an Agony Aunt style blog over on carriehopefletcher.com. I've been really enjoying that, link below. And I've been very, very active on Cameo, so if anyone wants a shout out, a happy birthday, a happy anniversary, a happy Valentine's Day, if you just want me to serenade you with a song, I will absolutely do that. Link below to that as well. Aside from that, I don't think I have any updates for you, but I'm crossing my fingers that it won't be long before I do. See you very soon.